This week's episode of the STS Guys is brought to you by Frisky Britches. Ladies, let's face it. I know you're all guilty of your panty drawer filling up with worn out, old, and brace yourselves, stained underwear. But that's where Frisky Britches comes in. Each month delivery is a surprise, but always includes 2 fun and sexy panties for only $14. So if you're looking for a good set of panties, go on over to shopfriskybritches.com and enter the coupon code FBSTS to save yourself 15%. Frisky Britches, get underwear the right way.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
This is Leo.
And I'm Scott.
And Larry. Where's Larry?
Larry's missing.
Crickets everywhere.
If anybody knows where Larry is, please let one of us know.
We are very worried about Larry. Please comment below if you know where Larry is. Just kidding. We actually know where Larry is. He's out this week, so he will be joining us again next week. So, guys, it's been a week since we've been together, so what's been going on?
Not much over here. You know how I roll. I go to work, I come home, I go to school. That's just about it.
Boring.
Nothing fun for Leo.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that. I'm going to ask you a ton of probing questions throughout the course of this episode, because I'm pretty sure...
As long as you don't BBI.
I won't BBI
No
you.
BBIs.
No BBI you.
Yeah. Let's ask some interview questions.
Yeah,
for
describe a
Leo.
time when you did have a life.
Yeah.
Pass.
Describe a time when you last went
Hard
out to a
pass.
bar.
And how did you feel about that?
I
And
quit.
what-
Good day.
What was the intended outcome?
So me and Scott, we had kind of an interesting week because
Well, we had a wonderful Friday.
we did have a wonderful Friday.
It was an unexpected Friday. We ended up not getting not one, but 2 of the SNES minis.
So this was kind of our plan throughout the week. We knew we were kind of going to do this, but we didn't want to wait in line because it just wasn't something that we wanted to do.
Because we have a thing called work.
Yeah,
That-
we had jobs and we had
Yeah.
work. We had stuff to do.
You had to pay for the item in question.
Yeah, exactly.
So I go to work fairly early in the morning, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm just curious. The Target we were going to go to, let me just go ahead and drive through the parking lot to see, what the line looks like. And there are already people in line. This is like 4:30 a.m. in the morning. There's a line. I'm pretty sure these people had camped out. Like I saw things like from New York and all across like the nation where people were actually camping out 1 or 2 days in advance.
If
for
not
this
camped
system.
out, the people had like camp chairs and hoodies, so they were like expecting it was going to
Yeah.
be cold and
Yeah,
like they
it's
were chilling.
Arizona. I said the coldest it's getting right now. Oh yeah, it's 82 degrees.
Yeah, right. It's but they were like set up for like a long lasting like time there.
Yeah. So I said we had all intentions of, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and throw a video out about our hunt for this SNES Classic system.
So did you get in line, or did you just drove by?
So not at 4:30.
Not at
no.
4:30 in the morning
okay.
because I'm like, I have work to do.
Yeah, we have to go to work first. So I show up to work about 7:30.
Yeah.
And we're
Target
like,
doesn't open until 9, right?
Eight.
9.
8 o'clock.
It opens at 8. So we're
o'clock.
like, you know what? I get into work and we say, let's, fuck it. Let's just take a drive over there. We'll film the lines. We'll make a little video. We're probably not going to get one of these things. Like
Yeah.
we're at this point of the day, it's really late. But let's just try it.
Yeah, so we get there. Like I said, we drive by, we take a quick shot of the line. Like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
It's a pretty big line.
It's a pretty big line.
Is it by the mall? Chandler Mall?
No, we went
No.
to one off of just kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So not one near a major mall or anything like that.
It's a place where you wouldn't think a Target was. Let me know if you know where. Did you know there's a Target on McClintock and Baseline?
baseline.
Yeah, it's the old beat up looking one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So the one that's
Yeah.
hidden behind like a whole bunch of trees. We
Yeah.
really know it's
So we
there.
went to the kind of rundown one, and most from the advertisements, everyone said the Targets, every store is going to get at least 20, right? That was what they said. So my thought is, when they say at least 20, that means they're getting 20 to every store.
Yeah.
Right.
So by the time we
Not
get there,
including the ones the staff take.
yeah, of course,
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, minus the ones the staff set aside.
So by the time we get there, like I said, it's like 20, maybe 15 minutes before the store opens.
Yeah, it was like 40, 45 after. Like we're just there before there's the line.
Did the line get bigger since when you drove by?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long line, but everyone was like spaced really far apart. Like first off, people, if you're gonna be in a line, like shorten that shit up.
This is not proper Black Friday
Yeah,
decorum.
like
Well,
you got
I-
like 10 feet in between each person. Like scoot closer. I know the person probably smells, but like you're in there for an item. Like get in there close.
That, and I think the point of the line is basically aren't lines straight. This one basically looked like it was like a whole bunch of like college kids that were hungover, and it was like they were
It's
walking
snaked.
that line
Yeah.
that was snaking through.
It was snaking through. Like people were not standing in any sort of order.
So me and Scott hop in line. I'm like, okay, let's just see if we get lucky.
How far deep were you in?
I was number 38 in line.
I
and
was
Scott
39.
Scott was number 39.
So you guys, did you guys count?
No. So we didn't have to count. Guy from Target just rolls up and
Literally a minute after we get in line.
right after we stand in line, rolls up and hands us a little piece of paper that says you're number 38 out of 40.
Oh, so they did Black Friday
49.
protocol.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they did a ticketing system.
A ticketing system. And so both Jeremy and I fully expecting not to get one of these things
Yeah,
at this
being
point.
38 out of 20.
Yeah, being like long in the line. All of a sudden, both of us in hand have tickets to buy the system. Neither
got a golden ticket.
Yeah. Both Jeremy and I were
chance to play my games.
so. Yeah, we're there, and like both of us are dumbfounded. We're like, "Holy shit! We're actually going to be able to buy one of these things." We showed up 15 minutes before this fucking store opens, and we're actually going to get one.
Well, so the fact that, like I said, we weren't camping out, we were in line hours ahead of time.
We, on a whim, the day before, we're like, "Hey, when I get into work,
We
like,
weren't
let's
pretending
go."
to be a homeless person, camping
Yeah.
outside of a store.
I'm sure those people probably are somewhat homeless, or at least are okay with being that to camp out that long.
Or were paid by someone else who didn't want to wait in line.
I am not above that.
I am not above that either.
Like, if someone's gonna give me money, I'll wait. But yeah, so we ended up both being able to buy the system. Like,
So then, So let me tell like a quick side story. So we're in line. We get the tickets. As the Target guy was handing out tickets, this woman ahead of us has like 3 like kids, like they're under the age of 5,
tiny little
like
kids.
tiny little kids, and she's basically arguing with the Target. Well, she wants one too. So okay, let's
Here we
let's-
go.
Let's have the did she file a W-2 last year?
Yeah, like-
is she gonna pull out
on
her,
the
her
sh-
My
on the
Little, My
little-
Little Pony like debit card to actually pay for it?
Yeah, on the
No.
the little ticket, it said per adult first off, and she's like, "I want one for a kid," and he's like, And he's like, "No."
That's
Like
not
the
gonna
Target guy's he's like, "No, one per family or whatever."
Honestly, like I said, I have to give Target kudos. Well, specifically this employee, because literally he gets the I give no shits award for the week.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he literally did not faze him at all when this woman was arguing. He's like, I don't care. No.
Yeah, he's like, "No." He's like, "Look at the line behind you. There's tons of people."
Honestly, they don't make enough to deal with people like that. They're at what, minimum wage, maybe a little bit over minimum wage, be dealing with a full-grown woman arguing about tickets
For a 5-year-old.
for a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't even think she was 5.
No, she was under because she was still in a diaper.
Wait a
She's
minute,
younger
hold on.
than my
It's-
daughter.
It's like 10 by now. This girl should be in school.
Yeah, no, that kid was still in a diaper. So if you don't,
Oh, okay.
maybe not daycare.
Okay, so they're not quite
age.
5 then.
Not-
If they
not
were
quite
5,
that.
we have a different conversation.
They're not
to have.
wiping their own ass.
Yeah, someone has to wipe it for him.
I see.
But yeah, the dude was just like he literally went to the line and was like, "Do you guys like? What do you guys think?" And we're like, "Do we still get one?" He's like, "Yeah." And we're like, "No, we don't give a shit." And then he saw the rest of the line. He's like, "I gotta get these people, and if I have extra, maybe I'll come back." And
Did they say how many they had actually had?
49.
They had 49.
It actually said
Minus
it on
his.
our car.
He had 50, so
I'm sure 50
minus
came
his.
in. Somebody put one aside, but yeah, it was like my little sheet, and you can see it on our Instagram. It has
go
a
to
we
our
took a
Instagram
picture.
page. Like I said, we took pictures of it.
Right. It has, your number 38 of 49. So you knew if you were going to get one, like when you got in line.
So what's the black market saying now? Like, are people putting them up?
Oh yeah, they went up. Like we saw actually one dude had his Target claim check thing that we got was the picture that he had up on eBay.
He had listed basically. He didn't even have the.
He didn't even buy it.
He didn't even have the unit
yet.
in hand.
He had the ticket, and so he's like, "I'm getting this shit on eBay as fast as I can."
Like he couldn't wait till he could take a picture of the box. He's like, "Here's the little things to prove I have one." Like,
And don't get me wrong. I said there was times where I thought, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna flip this thing, so that way I can invest it in some comics or something else that I like. if someone out there, and here's the thing, I know people get down on flippers and with this, that, or the other. If someone wants to pay that's on them.
That's on them.
Especially when
You
if
waited in
just
line to
wait.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because here's the thing, I invest my time, I just invest that. Like I said, and here's the thing, I buy stuff at higher prices too. Like, it's kind of the way that the world
Right.
turns.
It is. Well, and like,
Not everybody could have left at 8 o'clock in the
yeah,
middle of a workday
it's
either.
the middle of a workday. But here's the thing that really gets it is Nintendo has come out and said, we are going to produce more of these. Like, you don't have to buy these at these higher prices. So if you are willing to do that, that's on you at that point.
Yeah,
Like,
that's totally on them. Like I
It's
said,
those people that can't wait, they have to get one right away. They're going to pay that money for it versus someone that wants to wait until, you're probably not spring again.
Yeah.
I'm assuming is when they're going to become back available again eventually.
yeah, Nintendo just in general has problems meeting consumer demand. It's one of those things
Yeah.
where they've had such a struggle for the longest time in producing basically products because everyone wants their product, but they just can't produce. They can't meet the demand they have.
They don't make enough. And I think it's on purpose, but it's not. I'm not 100% sure.
What was the last current gen system
Switch.
we did? Was it
The Nintendo
The
Switch.
Nintendo Switch, which you still can't find in stores.
that was the
90% of
Wii with
time.
the screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and-
It's like the tablet Wii.
Yeah.
And that came out in March, and supplies are still limited for that because people still have
And
problems finding.
because the second it hits a store shelf, someone buys one up.
Well, Nintendo sort of has that notoriety, though. It doesn't even have to be the system itself. It's Nintendo. They were, the pioneer of all this. They were the game.
the
Forgive the
OG.
pun. They were the game changer.
Yeah, the OG.
So I get it. I could see why. I mean, then I go back to thinking. Remember the not Genesis. What did Sega have? The one that didn't do anything. The Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's
That was
they
the
struggled to
Dreamcast
sell
was
that
the
one.
shit though.
Dude, I love the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, the first one that had online gaming.
Yeah, first online gaming.
Was it?
It had
I didn't
online-
know that.
and it had the little screen. It was the first one to have the screen inside the controller.
Yeah, but you had to buy
Visual
that
mem-
separate. I
yeah,
remember
visual-
that.
The
But you
VMU.
had
Yeah.
you had the little screen. You could put that in there. Like it had all the shit that we like expect out of game systems today. The Dreamcast fucking had.
Yeah.
In '99,
It like
2000.
like 10 years before it became popular.
I do have to say I liked the controller because it was very spaceshipy. You remember?
Yeah,
how
it was
like,
very spaceshipy. Plus, like the games were fun. The thing that killed it.
That remake of fucking Resident Evil was the shit.
Yeah, the thing that killed it, though, like I said, was the price point. That it came out to be so fucking expensive.
It was
Yeah.
expensive. Yeah.
That
No one could afford it.
No one could afford it. But here's the thing: the games were awesome. Because I bought one years later after it came out when there was like maybe 15 games in existence for it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they're like, okay, hey, we're done. We're not gonna do anything more. Dude, I playing Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast.
Crazy Taxi.
Dude, remember it was the shit.
That
It was
was-
awesome.
That was.
Most of those games got ported back over to the PlayStation actually when it died
Yeah.
because it was
They were popular.
It was popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the games got ported because people wanted those games. And with the system gone, they went with the, this another CD and it was a pretty easy transition.
No, it was good. So, side note venture with the Dreamcast. But after I actually unboxed the SNES Classic, instead of flipping it, I'm actually keeping it.
I'm still undecided. So
It's one of those things where it really brought me back. It's the controllers.
Yeah.
There wasn't, like I said, I have me and Scott both have a Raspberry Pi with emulation software on there, so we can play games in any way.
there's something wrong with those controllers.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're playing the classic game, even though it looks like the controller. It just doesn't feel like it. This is as close to the real feel of the original SNES that you have.
What display cable does it use?
It's an
this
HDMI.
It's HDMI.
HDMI.
Wow.
It is
okay.
actually an HDMI on these ones that does the output. So it actually, it is a good system. I
How
mean,
much is an NES going for now? The real one on eBay.
not much.
Not much.
You
Yeah,
could-
it's like
those were
$50 and
everywhere.
under.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
okay.
things were everywhere. That you can get.
But
a
really, it's the
working
problem
version.
of getting it on a normal TV now.
Yeah.
Let's getting it on a normal TV because like I said, you don't have, like I said, everything's like I said, digital and HD now.
And then
So-
you have to find the games too.
Oh yeah, this doesn't have the cartridges.
Yeah.
This
No,
yeah.
this has all of them preloaded. So it's what 21 games?
21 games built in, including the unreleased Star Fox 2. It's one of those things too that it's also hackable. So you can load more games on there, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't let anybody know that it works that way.
Our lawyers won't like that, Jeremy.
Yeah.
We're not big enough for lawyers
And by
yet.
lawyers, you mean us.
Us.
Yeah. Looking at online.
I motion to the court.
So from what I've heard, these things work way better than most emulation, just because of the way the controllers work.
Yeah, so I'm keeping mine. Scott's still undecided on if he's keeping his.
Did Larry get one?
No, he didn't. Larry did not get one.
Larry did not get one. He was on his trip already, so he missed out on our Target trip.
On our Target adventure.
Adventure.
Otherwise, like I said,
Extravaganza.
he would have gotten one because
If he would have came with us,
He would have been
yeah.
right behind you.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
would've been right behind us.
He'd have been
He would've
number
gotten
40 out of 49.
Yeah.
So
So
All
mission,
in all,
mission successful.
I was not thinking we were going to get one. I went in fully expecting not to get one. It was a pleasant surprise to get that little paper in hand that says I could buy one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was a fun trip. What else did you guys do on Friday?
Not a whole lot. I went to work for a full 8 hours. I didn't get to leave early and go to the store, go shop, and have
Oh,
fun.
we didn't leave work early.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I meant like leaving in the middle of the day.
I still worked the rest of the day, so
Yeah, it was just a side venture of like, hey, let's take an early lunch.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I took my lunch at. Actually, I
side
didn't have a
venture.
lunch yesterday.
well, I have something that dropped Friday that is kind of new, and I don't want to say exciting because that is the complete wrong word for this, but last night Inhumans aired.
Yes, I ended up tuning in and watching Inhumans.
I watched it this morning. And the blank expression on my face that Leo was laughing about probably explains exactly how I feel about this show.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So
Here's the rub.
You guys were looking forward to this too.
I was looking. Oh, here's the thing. I was looking forward to it, but then everyone started shitting on it, and so I'm like,
It's like, oh no.
I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be terrible.
Right. Because this was different because it launched the first, 2 episodes, I think,
Yeah.
on IMAX.
On IMAX, yeah. So
So you could go in theaters to go watch it in the IMAX.
Who's putting this up? Is it Netflix original?
ABC.
ABC.
Oh, ABC is.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's,
ABC.
So ABC, like Marvel Adventure.
Same people who do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Same people who do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Now, here's the question I had. They talk about the Terrigen contamination. Now, the question I have is this. Is this actually related to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all, or are they trying to make it separate?
That's the confusion. So, like I said, if you look online, like I said, everyone is confused as far as like
Right.
how that actually
After
crosses
watching
over.
it, because I thought like they were 2 separate things, and after watching it, they talk about people on Earth are now becoming like their genes are being unlocked. And my question is, okay, first off, how? Like, is it the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? And they say contaminated water,
Yeah.
which is what happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So the Terrigen mist and stuff like
It
that
goes into the
came-
water,
yeah.
and they're things. So I'm like, is this? Please, just
All right.
somebody come out and tell me, is this connected to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or not?
Okay, but here, real quick, before we get into too much of it, I do have to say it's. I'm gonna give it some props. In one fact, it's better than Iron Fist.
It is better than Iron Fist. I'll give it a second one. The CG is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, the CG in it is pretty awesome.
Right. You have Medusa's hair, how she can control it and grab stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It actually looked way better than what they had in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I don't know
They,
what
I
they did.
think they went back and cleaned that up.
And some post processing in order to clean that up. Lockjaw looked
Way better.
Way better. He looked really good.
There's only a couple spots where I was like, wow, that's clearly CG when he's showing up.
Dude,
but
and then,
most of the time it's not.
One of the characters that's not a main character, Karnak, like awesome. Like I said, I could actually watch a separate show with Karnak.
Yeah.
Like I said he had like some of the humor aspects and some of the like buddy cop like type like feels to it.
Karnak, I love when he's talking with the slave girl filling his drink. Like that whole like awkward, like it starts off normally, you're like, oh cool, and then he goes off on his little like, but you chew with your mouth open. Like he has this whole like
build up to
like, and that's why we would break up. Goodbye. Like,
So this is actually airing on television. It's not
yes.
on Netflix.
No.
No, it's
Because you mentioned tuning in, but it went like I caught it, but it's one of those in today's society, like tuning in can mean anything. Like,
Yeah.
you're just turning on Netflix.
Right.
But
Yeah,
so it's
no,
actually on.
So
ABC.
this is like a weekly show. Like you
Yeah.
have to, I think the 2 episodes that they aired in IMAX are now available to watch. You can
Yeah.
watch 2 episodes.
those are all on demand right now.
Right, and then next week, episode 3 is going to drop,
Episode 3
right?
is
So
gonna drop.
it's going to be that weekly thing.
And here's the thing. So I looked it up. like I said, it's getting thrashed on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting at a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. I don't necessarily think it's a 4%.
No, I would put it. I mean, I've seen movies worse than this. Like, I would put it like 50-60%.
Yeah, like I said, it's not the best thing that I've ever seen. But honestly, what everyone was saying, it's literally not the worst thing I've ever seen.
No,
They're like,
it's not that bad. The acting is a little hokey, but to be fair, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started off really rocky.
Yeah.
And is it the best show ever? No. Is it watchable? Yeah, I'll watch it. So I'm going to give Inhumans a couple of episodes to see kind of how it goes from here.
I'm interested to see how it's going to progress. I'm interested to see kind of the audience's reaction as we get into future episodes. Because here's the thing, everyone is judging this series off of what they saw in IMAX and what they saw in these first 2 episodes.
In 2 episodes.
Like I said, it's 2 episodes. Like I said, the same thing happened with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're going in their 4th or 5th season?
5th season, I think.
5th season.
5th season.
Could you imagine? Years ago, would you imagine that there'd be 5 seasons of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
After
TV
the
show?
first 2 episodes? No.
Yeah. So I'm interested.
Well, the same thing happened. Arrow, Flash, they all had rocky starts because people are very weary of a superhero story.
Well, it's that, and then you also have the audience. Like I said, your audience is basically they're comic book and geeky, nerdy, people where
That can never be pleased.
It can never be pleased. Like I said, and they're going to be the most critical thing if you have said the color of the costume of someone wrong. That's
Medusa's hair was supposed to be
Medusa's
fiery red, and you only made it like fire truck red.
Yeah, and then her dress is lilac instead of a deep purple, and like it's
Yeah.
With that voice.
Yeah,
Because they have that kind of
Black Bolt. His name is actually Blackguard Bolt again, and the fact that they don't bring that up in the first 2 episodes
and then
is awful.
then why can't anybody know his language that he's speaking with Medusa? Right. Oh my god!
Yeah, like
how is
Make
Agents
the-
of S.H.I.E.L.D. now? Like, what's the reception like?
Here's the thing.
I bring it up because I'm Googling Inhumans and I clicked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and there's all these articles saying that Disney basically forced ABC to renew it for the 5th season.
So again, it's not great. Is it watchable? Yes.
Yeah.
More watchable than Inhumans.
They're both about the same to me.
Yeah.
Well,
From what I can tell,
from
like-
what you can tell with the first 2 episodes,
From the 2,
Yeah.
right. From what I can tell so
from
far.
what you've seen.
The acting is not good. Like in both shows, right? The acting is subpar. I mean, you got the dude Maximus is played by a dude from Game of Thrones,
yeah.
and maybe it's just the Game of Thrones actors, right? Because we
Yeah.
have Finn Jones from Iron Fist, and I don't even know this guy's name. The actor's name.
They
Some
think
English
they're
name.
hot shit.
They
'cause
think they're
were in
hot shit.
Game of
I was
Thrones.
in Game of Thrones. Yeah, well,
We get it, bro.
You suck in everything else you've done, apparently.
Obviously, you're not that good because they killed your character.
Right. Are you alive in that show? No? Then there's a reason.
Winter has come.
And that's George R.R. Martin. That's the reason.
But yeah, it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is it has peaks and valleys. Like, so it goes through episodes that are actually really good, which I actually really enjoy.
So the run with Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Awesome run. And the whole, his face burning off, becoming the skull for the Ghost Rider and the whole Ghost Rider thing. They did an awesome job with Ghost Rider and bringing up like the whole burning skull thing. Like, it looked good. And then they did the whole, we're going to go into the alternate reality of where Hydra won. And I was like, oh, this is not that great.
Yeah, but then it capped off last season with Coulson, or maybe Coulson.
We don't know who,
Yeah.
because there's apparently now 2 potentially.
There's potentially 2 Coulsons.
So we're not really sure what's going on.
So in space, where basically
In space!
where it's going to spin off, like I said, instead of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's going to spin off Sword.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that's going to wrap up. Like I said, those last couple episodes, those are actually really good. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where they take Inhumans, because it's one of those things where I want to see it succeed just for the fact of, like, even with anything I like I said, we shit on Iron Fist so much. Like, it's But the comic book fan in me like said, you know what? I'm happy that
He got a show.
Well, that he got a show, and people are still continuing to pay attention to this medium to tell stories and to show it visually.
They're phenomenal stories to tell.
Like you're getting all these things that are basically going from comic book to the small screen to the big screen, and so we're getting those shows. So whether they are the best movies that we've ever seen, you know what? No. But like, they're getting some screen time.
You're at least thankful that they've gotten up to this point.
I hated, Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad I thought was like the biggest pile of shit.
So so basically, everything DC's done in the last like 5 years,
except for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is my
gripe.
Asterisk to that.
Wonder Woman gets an asterisk until the very end when it's just her standing still and just like flailing her arms and like Nazis are like flying everywhere, or like the Germans are flying everywhere. I'm like, you're clearly not moving. Like, are you supposed to be moving that fast? Like, what are you doing at the end where it's just like flashing lights and blah, I beat everybody. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, so like I said, the Wonder Woman was
good.
I
was
found good.
The best thing DC's put out in a long time.
But like I said, I'm happy that we're getting these movies, that they're still continuing to make these movies, because it brings people, like I said, it gives people the sense of, okay, you know what? They're making these movies. Hey, can we bring in anybody else that can actually, like, hey, you know what? Tell a different story. Tell a different imagining of it. Yeah. Like, the whole separate, standalone DC universe thing with, Martin Scorsese and stuff like that. If you can get Martin Scorsese to direct a comic book movie, like...
Comic book movies have succeeded.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing that I'll add the caveat to this. The worst comic book movie or TV show is generally better than like 50% of the rest of the shit that gets pumped out in Hollywood. We talked about remakes the other day, and so I watched the remake of Baywatch, and oh my god, that is probably the worst pile of trash I've seen in the longest time. I talk about bad acting in Inhumans. These are professional actors like The Rock, Zac Efron, who is apparently Larry's favorite.
It's a good thing he's not here.
Yeah, he's gonna chime in, but it was trash. Like, it was the worst movie I've seen in a long time. Like, it was bad.
Just acting,
just
writing,
bad
all
acting,
of it.
Writing. Nothing made sense. Plot holes everywhere.
I honestly can't believe you even watched it in the first place, because literally...
Explain yourself, Scott.
I had no desire to, like, nah.
I'm not going to use a certain word here, but I'm going to do the air quotes. I streamed it. So it didn't cost me anything to watch the movie. So I figured while it was free, I was bored. I'll watch it.
I'm going to use those, like, quote, I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah. I felt really bad because it was when the guys were working on my air conditioning, so they probably heard the whole movie through the vents. And I felt really bad because they're probably like, what the hell is this guy watching? Because this is awful.
We need to get
that and
the
the
hell out of
Baywatch
here.
songs like blaring in the background.
Yeah, I'll be ready. Yeah. Which I don't know if it's actually in the new movie. I can't remember, but I just remember that song
I think
from
it
the
is.
show.
I think it is. With CJ running down the beach.
CJ. They do make some fun of the original series, but like they try to play off a joke. So The Rock is playing Mitch, right?
Mitch.
But David Hasselhoff shows up in the movie.
Oh, he does?
Who was the original Mitch, who was also named Mitch.
So that's confusing.
So, and they actually make it, they're like, Mitch, like
Mitch meets Mitch.
yeah. So it's like you're playing the same.
Which
character.
Mitch is Mitch?
Yeah.
So did both Batmans show up too?
It's
while
kind
we
of the
were
same
at it?
thing. Yeah, it should have been like make David Hasselhoff a different character at least. Don't pretend like the dude from the 80s is also this guy. Like they're the same dude, same name, everything.
I honestly don't know how we rabbit hole from Inhumans to now we're talking about Baywatch.
I know. I just kind of brought it up here, but I know you talked earlier before we started recording about remakes, and that one just clicked in my head. You said you'd watched one too.
I did. Well, I didn't. I was actually perusing through Facebook this morning and saw a snippet that they are actually looking. It's the writer or the producers of the show Blackish on ABC, and they are actually looking to remake or reboot Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. And I have to say, like, I'm a huge. In fact, like, I'm thinking. I don't know if it was last week or the week before where we were talking about. No, it was the week. It was last week. Where we asked like what reboot movie I would be looking forward to. I hadn't even considered that one, but I think Coming to America Okay, so I would be excited to see it,
It has to be done well.
but it has to be done well. I mean, Eddie Murphy nailed it.
The whole thing. I mean, you
The
have
whole movie was great.
Arsenio Hall.
Yes.
You have James Earl Jones.
You
like,
can't, I don't even know.
America.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm okay with Eddie Murphy playing his role, reprising his role in this
maybe-
new movie.
I think he should be the king,
Yeah, he should be the king.
right?
be
He
good.
should play James Earl Jones' character.
That would be good.
That would make it back to being like,
So who would you pick?
To be the son.
Yeah, I got my pick.
who do you got?
John Boyega.
That would be a good one. I was thinking who's the guy that plays Black Panther?
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, the same guy that played
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson. Chitwell, Ejiofor, whatever it is. I think
He would be a good one. But
I
I,
think
don't
he would
know,
be a
though,
good
'cause
one.
That was a vulgar ass movie, so you have to like be able to keep up with that.
We're
caliber.
lacking our human IMDb, so
yeah. So we are.
so please comment below.
Or you know what? The other guy that I think would be good is the main character from that movie Get Out. The guy who played the main. I think he would do good.
Yeah, he would do good.
I like how we thought that character from Get Out, the guy.
That
The
guy.
main
this guy.
character, the one black
We all
dude in the
have
show.
cell phones.
That-
We're all like not even looking this up.
I think the
whatsoever.
one-armed man should do it. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Yeah, as we're getting there, people are like, "Who the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, this guy.
But
Hey,
yeah,
this
so
guy.
I think he would do really well. I mean, obviously it's serious. You know, that was more of a serious movie, and I don't know if he's been in a whole lot more, but I mean, he's proven himself to be able to do pretty good drama, and usually
Yeah.
most of those guys can do things. And his name is Daniel Kaluuya, apparently. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
I could see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he would do
I
good
think-
as
I
well.
think he would do good.
I could see that him as
And
an
then-
actor, not. I could see that as being his name.
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
So, but then you also have to think. You have to his you know his handler basically. You also have to who was the brunt of most of the jokes. Like you have to get a good comedic actor to take on that aspect of things too, because that was Arsenio Hall at the day.
Yep.
Was also jumping in.
Could you imagine, like I said, if he would come back into the world of acting? Can you imagine Dave Chappelle in that role?
He would do well.
He would do well.
He would do. He would
After
do really
his
well.
little breakdown a couple years ago, like, did you see his Netflix special?
It's okay.
Yeah, it was all right. So
It's
he's
okay.
he's making
He's back.
a comeback in some fashion. So I think he would do well.
He,
man.
That and then
He got like buff, but his head didn't change. So his like head's way too small for his body though. It bugged me the whole time I watched that show.
all right. To wrap up the Inhumans conversation, on a scale of 1 to 5, Scott, what would you give it?
2.5. It's dead center for me.
Yeah, I would also give it 2.5. I'll probably revisit this after. Like I said, I watched the entire season this season. But like I said, so far 2.5. It's worth it to tune into it. Like I said, watch it. Let us know your thoughts down below too in the comments. We want to know what you think,
If you think we're dead wrong, let us know.
or change our mind. Like
Yeah.
I said, let
Give
us
us-
know
yeah.
one way or the other. Like, hey, you know what? Hey, this is the best show ever. Let us know what you think as far as the reason why. Or, like I said, if it's like I said, the biggest pile steaming of shit that you've ever seen, let us know the reason why. So it's also been kind of an interesting week in technology news too, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had some large announcements from a few
News.
yeah, from a few big hitters. I mean, Apple had their keynote 2-3 weeks ago. Google is gearing up for an announcement on Tuesday. But Amazon, our very favorite and the one in our biggest,
Dun, 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 dun.
the one who has the biggest part in our heart, did some unveilings of some new revamps of their basically their Echo ecosystem. That was hard to say.
Yeah. It could be the ecosystem.
That was very
The Echo.
quite literally.
Quite literally.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
But they've got
The ecosphere.
yes, I like that one better.
Ooh.
The Ecosphere. They announced quite a few different additions to the family. The first was a Fire TV. I'm going out of order, of course. The Fire TV. I can't tell if it's a
Update.
stick, if it's not a stick.
It's
'cause
like it's a mix.
It's a dongle.
it is, and
I love the word dongle.
the interesting part of this is I
Blasted dongle.
was looking to buy
It
an
does, it kind of hangs
actual
limp.
Fire TV because of the connectivity problems I'm having with the Fire Stick. Like the wireless is screwing with me, so I wanted to get the box set.
You had first gens, right? Like you had
I have
early
one first gen and a second gen.
Yeah, those first couple gens of the Fire Sticks, the Wi-Fi on them was shit.
It's
Yeah.
pretty bad. So I was just gonna chalk up the money and buy a box set, but then they disappeared last week, and I didn't think anything of it until maybe I think it was actually after we left. I was listening to something online driving home, and it dawned on me that they pulled it probably just because they're about ready to do an announcement. So anyway, this is supposed to support 4K. It's Alexa enabled, all that fun stuff. They came out with what they're calling the Echo Spot, which is a $130 alarm clock.
Yeah.
It's a smaller version of the show.
Yeah,
basically.
it's like it's a dot
camera.
in the show had a baby.
Yep.
That's what would spit out.
That's exactly what came out.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I want one real bad.
I already pre-ordered one. It's funny though because like the Fire TV, I was looking to do this Alexa-enabled alarm clock. It's actually the exact same size, but it's a third-party one.
Yeah.
So I was looking to buy that until, of course, like this one comes out.
Well, damn, I'm just going to go with the
Oh.
official.
They came out with the Echo Connect, which creates a bridge between, I don't know who still has these, but your home phone landline. It creates a bridge between that and the Alexa ecosystem. So you could actually use your landline to call someone via your Echo.
Yeah. Well, it basically turns any landline into like a smart system, like a smartphone.
Yeah, pretty
For the
much.
most part.
So like I said, it's pretty cool. It's not something that I know anybody at this table is going to end up taking advantage of because
I don't have one.
I don't
of
have
those.
a
I have
landline
what's
anymore.
called a cell phone.
Yeah.
But the two big hitters are the Echo, of course, which will have. It's basically
They shrunk it down.
They did. I was looking
Made it
at
fatter.
I was looking
They
at
did.
the videos that like the Verge and CNET put up, and it's basically what you, Scott, or both of you have now. It's as if a dot. And somebody bought the adapter, slid it in there, and called it a day.
Yeah.
They lowered their price point though to $99. So it makes it a lot more affordable.
It's a little cheaper. They have some cool wood grain like looks.
Yeah,
for it,
you
too.
can switch
Like-
out the skins, I guess, similar to the Google Home, which I don't know. That's really not important.
I'll
to
buy
me.
the one I want, and that's probably
Yeah.
the one I'll keep.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
But it's cool that that's a function if somebody wants to change it.
The big one is the Echo Plus, which at first it took me like a day to figure it out. But
What the difference was?
yes,
Yeah.
because it didn't really make sense to me. But apparently now,
Which looks like the original Echo.
it's it's the exact same except for the fact that you don't have to go through another. It's a smart hub. In it.
Which I
it has
actually-
the built-in hub.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. So once I saw that, I love the fact of that, just because, like I said, it's taking up one less port on my. Because, like I said, I had the Philips bulbs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like I
you
said,
don't have to buy a whole
I don't have
rack.
to buy a whole. Like I said, I don't have to take up another spot on my router or on my switch for another stupid hub.
Yeah.
To have that built in to where it's actually like consolidating space.
And it works with anything. You
Exactly.
don't have to have, if you have 8 different smart home systems, you don't have to have 8
Yeah,
different hubs.
It does it itself.
Yeah,
It
so
looks
it'll work
for
with
'em,
smart things. It'll work with the Philips. It'll work with like a couple of different other things.
Now, how much was the original Echo? Do you guys remember?
129.
129.
The-
Okay.
no, the original. Also,
I thought it was
original,
I thought it was
original
in the
179.
70s.
179,
it was
right?
It was $200. It
Yeah.
was $199 because we all got it because we all were part of the original beta. We got it for $99.
Right. And it was $100 more.
It was $100
Then it
more.
dropped to 170, and then
And then now this.
finally
so
lowered
yeah.
out at 129. And it's been like that for the longest time.
And I think the Echo Plus is rolling at 135, so it's pretty
It's a
comparable.
little bit more, and then they dropped the non-hub version to the 90.
Right, but like Jeremy was saying that they squashed it, they sat on it a little bit, so it kind of
Got a fat ass.
The
Yeah.
thing is, it's got some curves, Jeremy. Let's be PC about this.
Now
here.
I will say
It's healthy.
what I sort of regret
It's Rubenesque.
It is.
is so I sold both of my Fire Sticks this week.
For a reason that
That
one of
we-
their most announcement, as we told him this morning, he didn't have to sell them.
Yeah. Well, so I made the decision to sell them because I got sick of the wireless crapability.
Yeah.
But of course,
What did we inform you of this?
What did we
you
tell
informed
you
me
about?
What did we tell you?
that that Amazon is rolling out exactly what Google did for their Chromecast, and it's a power over Ethernet adapter for the Fire Stick.
So basically, it goes in between your power supply and your Fire Stick or your Fire TV, for that matter.
yeah, and creates that LAN.
And you can
connection.
plug a Ethernet cable into that, and it uses the USB of the the Fire Stick to then actually give you a direct connection to your router.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the one other announcement that they had, don't know how I feel about it yet because I haven't seen a lot of materials about it, but it's the Echo button.
Okay, so the buttons I am super excited about.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think is the only one.
So
who's
I'm
ever
excited.
used
Like, it
anything
looks
for
like
it.
it's fun for the fact of like playing games and stuff. But what I haven't found is it a way to use Alexa without talking to it? Can I press it and it turn on a light?
I think that
I feel that that's where they're gonna go with
I feel
it.
that functionality
That would be nice.
That functionality
Right.
is going to be in there. But for the fact of, because I was actually looking at like game show buzzers the other day. Well, just because something for the super mega Halloween special.
Yeah. We would need something to for that one.
But I was looking for like some type of button the other day. But the fact of like, said, have you? I don't know. Every morning, my wife plays Jeopardy with, like I said, that's part of her like morning routine. Is she'll go in and she'll actually play Jeopardy with the Alexa. I can say it because it's not.
Yeah, that one won't hear you.
I have changed my start word away from that because of its proximity to the us recording.
So she plays Jeopardy with it every morning. But like I said, there's other trivia based games on there. Like I said, imagine that actually having like legitimate like bar type trivia nights where like I said you have like I said the colored buttons you can buzz in like. And it's something that you're not spending
could
like, a
do-
whole bunch of money.
Yeah, they're
on.
going 2 for $20 right
Yeah,
now, so
yeah,
they're
2
not
for 20.
super expensive.
So you get 2 of them, you have at least you can split up 2 teams and do like a trivia thing or whatever. When you're drinking or having friends over the house, like hell yeah, like a trivia thing would be fun.
Yeah, with something like that super. They made it at a price point where I'm like, okay,
I might get this.
I'll get it just because I'm curious. Well, that and then you can custom program the lights on it too, so you can customize. Okay, you know what?
Red,
this
green,
is
blue,
red, green,
yeah.
blue team. This is the red team. And so there's some customizations that you can do to it. And plus, is that if they build it into like, hey, if they actually make it like a switch, where like, hey, you know what? I'm pressing this to turn on my lights, or I'm pressing this to activate this macro that's going to basically do this in my house.
Yeah, and that's kind
That
of
would
what
be cool.
that's what I would like to see because there's. I mean, I stopped, but I used to use it as an alarm, and I'm just that tired from having waken. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to tell you to
Especially
snooze,
not
but
a
I don't
machine,
want
like,
to.
I don't want to say snooze.
Yeah,
I just
so
want to hit
just
a
let me
button
hit
to
a button.
snooze.
And the reason I think that it is going to do that is because the dash buttons that they have out. There's 100 million tutorials online of where people hack those
Yeah.
to actually do that thing.
Yeah.
They hack the dash button so they say, hey, you know what, turn on my lights.
Hit that button.
And basically,
right.
you hit that button and it does that, or you hit this button and it does this.
You bring up the dash button. Can I tell you bring up just how useless I think the dash button is?
I have one. I have yet to actually use it.
The fact of the matter is, if you hit the dash button, you still have to go confirm that purchase.
You can change that
can
in the
change- yeah,
settings.
You can
yeah.
finally change that because I was gonna say
But for you having a 4-year-old, I don't know if I recommend that.
I don't want like, I just ordered 17 things of laundry detergent. Like, why? Because it's a button and I fucking pushed it. Like, yeah, no.
I think it was a good idea, but with them rolling out the dash wand, Echo, Alexa,
The wand is pretty cool.
You don't really need a dash
Yeah,
button.
because you can scan something, but you still go in and like, okay,
Well-
actually buy that.
And here's the thing. So I think they are better off, and they started to do this. So if you've actually went to your like Amazon homepage, like have you noticed they have like the digital dash button?
Oh yeah,
That
that I
works way
have.
better.
Yeah, I have that.
And so I'm
bookmarked,
like,
yeah,
you know what?
you do that for pet food.
Yeah, you can do that for
yeah.
pet food. You can do this, that, and the other. So you know what? I actually like that a little bit better. Where hey, you know what? I can buy say one of their $35 tablets, mount it someplace, and I can actually have all my buttons there.
Yeah.
and then
Ready to go.
That's
and then-
actually not a bad idea. I
and
hadn't
I can
thought
do
of that.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I've been using them. Like I said, I actually have a couple of the physical buttons, but I actually use the digital buttons more.
The digital makes more sense to me.
Oh yeah, because
I'm already
you can
on the
add whatever
machine.
you want to
Yeah.
it.
Click, go.
Yeah, so I have one in the kitchen, basically where like I said it's mounted, and then you can scroll through it, and then like, hey, you know what? I need to order this, this, and this.
Now, the one thing I am looking forward to is they are allowing, I don't know if they're calling it recipes. I saw it called recipes, but because that kind of clashes with IFTTT,
If
that was the right amount, right? TTT. Yeah.
If this,
then
then that.
yeah.
Basically, what they're I don't know if they've rolled it out yet, but what they're looking to do is if you say, Alexa, good morning, that triggers a series of items a macro
Yeah.
that cuts on your coffee maker, opens your lights, opens your shades, whatever
Right.
whatever your protocol is. So I think that's pretty exciting, especially since 3 of us at least, our whole house is
yeah.
smart house. But so
Can't
I
talk for
sold
Larry, but
my
all of ours have at least some form of
I know
functionality.
well,
Jeremy, I think, is the most, and then it kind of bleeds down between Leo and I to like we have like one or two things.
So I sold my Fire TV sticks, as you guys know, for the purpose of, well, A, the wireless was pissing me off, and B, my Surface crashed this week.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. Rest in peace to our.
Sana colita de rana. It's pretty
Rest
bad.
in peace to the device that was actually producing our show. Basically, now we have a notebook with a notepad with just shit written on it.
Yeah,
versus
so
Leo's
We've
pad.
gone 20th century.
So find me on Twitter. I'll have a GoFundMe going for that. But so let me tell you something that just pisses me off, and we can go ahead and add this to things I'm on.
Things the STS guys are annoyed by.
It will be added to the list, the running list of shit that just pisses me off.
Well, let's give a little backstory to that. So there's different things that irritate us all. Leo has gone about in actually, you know what, creating a record of.
There is a record.
Things that make
it is
Leo
entered
mad.
into the official record.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo has an official list of
It's
things
more
that has pissed
concrete
him
than
off.
the Ten Commandments.
It is.
It is.
And I won't go into
And
number.
it's more official.
I won't go into number one because that should probably be a standalone episode as it is. But it started with Handshake Guy.
Handshake guy.
Okay.
We'll pause that
We'll
one for
pause
another
that one.
episode.
Anybody who wants to know the story of this, Leo has an Instagram. Just direct message him. He'll tell you.
I'd be happy to tell you about it.
He'll tell anybody who's willing to listen.
Even if they're not willing to listen. I think Jeremy's heard that story 5 times.
Well, honestly, I said half of our subscribers are our friends, so I think they're all familiar with the answer.
They're familiar with it, or they're like, "Wait, Leo, what?" Yeah. So that deserves to be number one.
Oh yeah,
But
that's it's the one that started it all.
So this week's
We've gone through several different things that Leo's been on. What is the most current thing that's pushed Leo over
the most
edge?
current that has been added to this record of things I'm on is and it's not relative to just OfferUp. It's people you find online that you're trying to sell stuff to,
Like
whether it's
eBay,
Craigslist, eBay,
yeah.
Facebook, OfferUp. It doesn't matter.
Can you, instead of what you're doing,
Dude, can you not read, basically?
Can I throw you a goat and 7 pebbles for your Fire Stick?
Like no, I have a smartwatch up right now, and this guy just emails me or messages me, whatever it's called, and he's like, "Will you trade?" Yeah, cash.
money. I will trade money for
I'm
it.
confused. I don't know
That
how
is
this
what
works.
selling is. I'm trading you my item for money.
It just
What do you have to offer?
I get that I'm
First
not
off.
selling you a new item, and I get that I'm not a retailer like Amazon, but don't treat this like a garage sale. Don't haggle me. If I'm putting up a Fire Stick for a third of what it retails for, I'm not going down anymore.
The last time I used to have
It's
a
not
weight
worth the
bench.
gas.
I had a weight bench and I sold it for like a quarter of what it should have been, right? And the guy was like, "I don't know. Would you take a little bit less?" I'm like, "Fuck no,
No.
This is like $500 worth of weight equipment. I'm selling you for $80. Take the $80 or get the fuck out." Like,
So, the one other thing I've learned out of this experience is don't use odd numbers. And don't, like, if you want to sell something, it needs to be on a 0, because you'll put something up for 45, the guy will roll up, "Oh,
only
you
have
have 40.
Yeah.
Okay, go into QT and get cash back then. What do I look like an ATM?
Yeah.
So
I can't make change.
no, yeah.
Like-
Do I have the little carnival change thing on my belt?
ching, ching,
No.
ching, ching. Yeah.
So anyway,
I would love one of those.
offer up
I would
buyers
actually
like,
want one of those just to roll up in an arcade with one of those little things on your belt.
well, you
Like,
can't, as you
order-
learned last week. Everything's on
It's
card
on digital
currency
now.
now.
But no, they have
Boo.
things like Cobra Arcade that still takes quarters.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Cobra Arcade?
No, I've not.
It's an old school arcade / bar.
Right.
I think
We need to go.
I
We
think
need to do an episode
We
there.
need to do an episode there.
Done. So anyway, that's what I'm on right now, is people that can't read and follow directions.
You know, I had a similar experience lately, but it wasn't with OfferUp. It was with eBay. I had some asshat basically drive up the cost of my lot of comic books that I was selling. Like, send him like 100 direct messages. Like, okay, are you gonna pay for this? You gonna pay for this? You gonna pay for this? No response, no response, no response. And then like you have to wait, like I said, the appropriate amount of time before you can relist it. So literally it's just sitting there wasting my time. And so I ended up canceling the listing and ended up relisting it. And then the guy comes back at me 30 days after the fact.
30 days?
30 days after the fact. Hasn't paid yet. And he's asking, well, where are my comic books at?
You didn't fucking pay me.
Well, and I'm like,
Where's my money?
I'm like, you didn't pay for them, so they never shipped. So I relisted them, and oh yeah, they sold. And then he tried to file a case and saying with eBay, saying, "Oh, this guy screwed me out of my money, this, that, and the other."
The money he didn't pay.
The money he didn't pay.
The money that he didn't send, and like he ended up doing this whole case investigation thing. But like I said, it ended up turning out to be nothing. But it's like I said, 30 days.
Yeah. You can't wait a month and be like, "Oh, I haven't paid you. Where's my comp?"
Yeah, this is not a next
COD.
paycheck. Yeah, this isn't layaway. Come on.
And I'm
like-
sorry, I don't do title loans on
I'm
my
not doing a
comic books.
cash on delivery for something that expensive.
You know, I
Sorry.
still, not to derail too bad, but I saw an infomercial the other day and they said, sorry, no CODs. I'm like, we still do CODs?
I don't think anybody actually does.
Who accepts
anymore.
those?
I don't think anybody actually does. I just think it was such like a prevalent thing back in the day when
in
like
the world
our
of the-
grandparents were around.
Yeah,
that,
in the
like,
world of the credit card, like, so there's no purpose for the COD.
Well, and
anymore.
I've never-
especially for like, or for a non-business.
I've never experienced a COD, but did the USPS actually ever accept cash?
yeah.
That's because I know it's cash on delivery, but
I don't know if it was USPS, but like whoever delivered it was
They would take
authorized
the
to
cash?
accept the payment.
wow,
And it would go back to whoever. They had like a receipt and everything.
that's crazy. So 30
My
days you
grandparents
had
used to buy
wait.
shit on QVC all the time. COD.
And the COD.
Yeah, so the guy would show up and he'd be like, yeah, hand out. He's like, where's the money back for this?
I can't. Well, here's the thing. I can't believe QVC is still a thing.
I know. I'm
The
surprised
fact
that they're
they have
still
their own
alive.
fucking network.
Yeah.
It's not even like just a show on a channel now. It's the QVC channel.
I can't.
My
believe
favorite
they did.
show is on there, Cutlery Corner with the redneck selling knives.
Yes.
I
we
love
need
Cutlery
emergency
Yeah,
services.
the one that the dude cut, or where they all have band-aids on their fingers when they're trying to show off the knives because they cut themselves on the previous knife expo.
Hey, they're just trying to show how sharp they actually
Yeah,
are.
it is. All them rednecks going, so this here is a buck knife. We're going to sell this thing for $19.95, but if you buy now, you get a katana.
Yeah.
Like, oh, because that's what I need with a
Or
buck knife.
or you can stretch this out on FlexPay
Yeah.
for 3 payments of $6.99.
Yeah.
That there's a deal.
That there is a deal. Yeah.
So, kind of wrapping things up for this week. Go around the table. I want to basically give 2 recommendations of either an item, drink, show, things that people should be looking at. I'm gonna give mine right now. Tune in to South Park. This season is amazing.
I've said it before. This is probably the best season in the last, like, 5.
Yeah. And then my second recommendation is for those of you who, like me, I said I hate this time of year because everyone goes pumpkin beer crazy, and I don't like pumpkin beer. Sorry for all the listeners who love pumpkin beer, but it just goes freaking nuts nowadays. Go drink something else.
Okay, I'm going to give my 2 because I'm going to counteract that.
Oh, okay.
There's one pumpkin beer that I will actually drink, and I will drink it continually. Four Peaks has pumpkin porter back.
Pumpkin porter. Okay, that's your recommendation.
That's-
Recommendation number 1 from Scott.
Anybody who can get it, their hands on it. They're owned by Budweiser now, so they should be able to have that distributed somewhere.
Yeah.
Four Peaks Pumpkin Porter is the shit. Unlike any pumpkin beer, it doesn't taste like shit like every other pumpkin beer. It's good. The other thing is, it's something I'm looking to purchase. Actually, is everyone Power over Ethernet?
Yes.
Everyone needs to start getting this. Like, that is my next recommendation. Every house has circuits running through it. If you don't know this, you can use Power over Ethernet. They're little plugs. They're not expensive. 60 bucks or so, $50.
For like a pack of 2.
For a pack of
Yeah.
2, you can turn your entire circuits into a landline and basically not have to rely on Wi-Fi throughout your house. Get them.
So once we get that, I think we're actually gonna do a video.
I'll do, yeah. So I'm going to purchase it. I'm going to do a video kind of showing off kind of how they work and kind of walking through the setup of those.
I know Jeremy's set up that way. I just got set up on it about a year ago. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's
way better
The
than
sucky
Wi-Fi.
part is like the little things like, your TVs that don't have the ports or whatever. But yeah. I really love it. I'd
what
have to
are your
say
2?
my recommendations are probably, excuse the pun, they're seasonal. The first one is I'm going to get out to Schnepp Farms here in the next week. It's Pumpkin Patch Chili Festival.
Pumpkin Patch Festival?
I love the corn maze. I'm a huge fan of the corn maze.
Do you know what's the theme this year?
I don't know. I haven't found it online yet.
For anyone who doesn't know, there's a local farm that has a ginormous corn maze out here.
I have never been out there.
You should. We're going
Because
Sunday.
it's on the literal opposite side of the planet from you.
It really is. You'd have to charter a plane to get out there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Hey, you know what? I can do an ultralight.
It's like a 2-hour like drive for you.
It's my sister really loves a pumpkin patch. It's probably just like how I love fireworks. I'll just go out of my way to find fireworks. But they have like the tastiest, I don't even know what to call it, jam, jelly, preserves, that shit that comes in a jar
in
you
a
put on
jar.
your toast
Yeah.
and doesn't expire.
It's
yeah,
something
it's the
something
best that I've ever
spreads.
had.
Yeah.
The other one, it kind of is along the same lines, is just get out and enjoy the nice weather. I mean, especially here in Arizona, it's cooling down.
Yes, finally.
I'm actually going to go up north
The
on
best time of
Tuesday
year for everywhere.
and go chase some fall colors and get some pictures.
Take
of
some
some
pictures?
Yeah, see some leaves changing because it's dead or deader down here in the valley. So
Everything is a lovely shade of brown here in Arizona.
those are my two. It's a little lame, I know, but
You know what? That's not what this is about. It's about making general recommendations
For everyone to go check out.
For everyone to go check out. And I completely agree with both of those.
So to give an update on our current giveaway, though, we are right about 75, right? 74, 75 subscribers on our channel.
On our
getting
YouTube
there.
channel.
On our YouTube channel. Only 25 more before we send out our next giveaway.
And we do have another giveaway after that. So the more the people subscribe, so the sooner we can get to that giveaway. And the next giveaway, it actually won't be a Funko Pop. So just let that kind of be known out there right now.
So the Funko Pop was kind of the first two that we got, but we have many more in the works.
Also, too, we have our Super Mega Halloween special coming up.
To give heads up, Jeremy did take my suggestion to go watch Thanksgiving. It is for anybody out there that's watching. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free on Prime.
It's free on Prime right now.
Watch it.
so I still haven't decided what movie I'm going to do my
Go
homework
watch Thanksgiving,
Alright,
please.
so-
You
Well, I
have
thought
to
it
at least
was.
watch that.
We were supposed to each watch one.
We are going to each watch one, but we're going to do a game. A game that's...
You need to watch Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Please. And for anybody listening out there, please go watch this movie. It is the B movie of B movies
It starts off...
with a topless pilgrim.
Yeah.
Like naked woman pilgrim running
Literally,
through the
that's
forest.
the very first scene of,
It's just
of
boobs.
the movie.
Like-
And then it's basically a turkey hand puppet throughout the entire
killing
movie.
people.
Killing people throughout the
That
entire
no
movie.
one acknowledges is a fucking turkey.
Yeah.
Like
Fascinating.
So
Yeah.
it's on Prime.
Watch it.
You gotta watch it.
gotta watch
like
it.
I said, there's gonna be a portion of our Super Mega Halloween special that's going to be Thanksgiving.
Dedicated
That's going to be Thanksgiving related.
dedicated
Very well.
to my suggestion. So
I completely enjoyed it.
he literally texted me. He's like, "This is the best movie I've ever seen in my life." It's
Whereas my wife came in there and was like, "What the hell are you watching?"
yeah. You have to be in the right mindset. So have a couple drinks if you want.
You have to be in the right mindset.
Yeah, come over to the house. We'll have a couple drinks. We'll throw it
Yeah,
on.
I will.
Done.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
what, when you do that, call me too, just because I will. Because I want to see Leo's reaction to Thanksgiving.
We'll watch it. So that's coming up. That's only one part of our mega Halloween special, but that's coming up here
Here in a
quicker
couple-
than we thought.
Yeah, here in a
because
couple weeks because it's
next-
October tomorrow.
it'll be- October tomorrow, and by the next time October will be the next show. It
Yeah.
will be in October. So,
Well, I think that's all we have for this week. And for this week, I'm Jeremy,
I'm Leo.
and I'm Scott.
and we're the STS guys. Have a good night.
Romantic, isn't it? Shut up and sit down.